Welcome to chapter 20, the book of Judges. The last chapter we saw where this concubine of the Levite was raped and died at the door of the house of the old man in Gibeah. And now we find out in chapter 20 what occurs afterwards. It begins, "And came forth all the sons of Israel." And the congregation held an assembly. We have a synagogue, synagogue, and an ecclesia, ecclesiasti, holding an assembly, an ecclesia. Ecclesia is down below here. And as I mentioned before, generally a synagogue has to do with a gathering of, for the Jews, and an assembly is this could be any amount of people. And in the New Testament, the church, it's called church. It's an assembly. I don't know where they got the word church from, but it's an assembly of people, one way or the other. As they came together as one man from Dan unto Beersheba. Dan was the furthest north area of Israel, and Beersheba furthest down south. In the land of Gilead, which is on the eastern side of the Jordan River, they came together before the Lord in Mizpah. And here, Mizpah is over here. And Gibeah is down in here by Ramah. And the region established all of the people in all the tribes of Israel in the assembly of the people of God, 400,000 men on foot, unsheathing the broadsword. Now, I'm not exactly sure if the 400,000 all were together, or that was how many that were ready to come to fight, or how, but it's a lot of people. I can't imagine an army of 400,000 in Israel. So I think it's just somehow this is the availability. And the sons of Benjamin heard that the sons of Israel ascended unto Mizpah. And Benjamin is right down here where it says Benjamin. And the sons of Israel said, "Tell where this evil took place." And to the man, to the Levite, to ask. And the man answered the Levite, the husband of the woman. So now I have husband here of the wife, or husband of the woman. Same word for wife, woman, husband, man. On here, husband, man, woman, wife, having been murdered, and said, "I came unto Gibeah of Benjamin. I am my concubine to rest up," and rose up against me. The men, the ones of Gibeah, and they circled upon me, upon the house at night, the house of the old man who took him in from the square of the city, and wanted to kill me. Now, it doesn't say in the last chapter they wanted to kill him. They wanted to know him, it says, sexually. But it says kill him here. And they humbled my concubine and sported with her, and she died. So he's telling them what happened, and then I took hold of my concubine. See, he doesn't call her wife. And I dismembered her. And I sent out in every border of the inheritance of Israel, for they committed folly in Israel, all 12 places, 12 tribes. Behold, all you, the sons of Israel, make to yourselves an account and plan here. The imperative. And all the people rose up as one man, saying, "We shall not enter a man into his tent, and we shall not turn aside a man to his house." We're going to get this thing done. "And now this is the thing which we shall do to Gibeah. We will ascend against it by lot." We'll choose people by lot, casting like dice. "And we shall take 10 men out of 100 for all the tribes of Israel, and 100 out of 1,000 men, and 1,000 out of 10,000 men, to take a provision for the people, to complete the task, to the ones in going unto Gibeah of Benjamin, against all the folly which they did in Israel." So we're going to go and make war against Gibeah. and came together every man of Israel to the city as one man coming. And the tribes of Israel sent out men in all the tribe of Benjamin, saying, "What is this evil that took place among you?" So now they're going to charge the tribe of Benjamin, give an explanation and do something about it. "And now give over the impious men in Gibeah, the sons of Belial, and we shall kill them and lift away the evil from out of Israel." Belial, interesting word. It first appears in Deuteronomy 13:13, not in the Greek Bible, but in the Hebrew Bible it is number 1100 in the Strong's Concordance, and it is a word that means lawbreakers, sons of lawbreakers. And then it appeared in 1922 of Judges, and it was called the paranomy, the lawbreakers, in the last chapter. But this chapter, it has Belial. And the only other place it appears in is in 2 Corinthians 6:15, where it talks about Belial. And basically, he's talking about lawgivers, lawbreakers. And so this is what this Belial is. It only appears a few places in the Old and once in the New. But the sons of Benjamin wanted not to hear the voice of their brothers of the sons of Israel, akuse, acoustics, and phonies, a phone. And the sons of Benjamin came together from out of their cities unto Gibeah to go forth into battle array against the sons of Israel. And the sons of Benjamin were numbered in that day from out of the cities 25,000 men, unsheathing the broadsword, apart from the ones dwelling in Gibeah. These numbered 700 chosen men from out of all of the people, ambidextrous, good fighters. All these were slingers casting stones to the hare and not missing entirely. It's like David killed Goliath with the stone, with a sling. And they were accurate, not missing, to the hair. So David was a good marksman. And every man of Israel were numbered separate from the sons of Benjamin. 400,000 men unsheathing the broadsword. So they picked the troops out of there, I believe, because it was saying 10%. All these were men warriors. And they rose up and ascended unto Bethel and asked of God. Now Bethel, where is Bethel? Bethel is right over here. And Gibeah is down here. And this is where they were over here making these plans. And the sons of Israel said, "Who shall ascend to us guiding to wage war with the sons of Benjamin?" And the Lord said, "Judah shall ascend guiding." So the tribe of Judah was to lead. And the sons of Israel rose up in the morning and camped at Gibeah. And every man of Israel went forth for war against Benjamin. And the man of Israel deployed against them for war. Polemics comes from that, against Gibeah. And came forth the sons of Benjamin from out of the city. And they utterly destroyed in Israel in that day 22,000 men upon the ground. Now, if it was 400,000 and 10% would be 40,000, I mean, they lost half of the men. And the people strengthened the man of Israel. It didn't give up. And they proceeded to deploy for war in the place in which he deployed there on the first day. So they're going to do it the next day. And the sons of Israel ascended and wept before the Lord until evening and asked by the Lord, saying, "Well, shall I proceed to draw near for war against the sons of Benjamin, my brother?" And the Lord said, "Ascend against him." And the sons of Israel came forward against the sons of Benjamin in the second day. And Benjamin came forth to meet them from out of the Gibeah on the second day. and they, the ones from Gibeah, utterly destroyed, yet from out of the people of Israel, 18,000. So if we had, that's 28,000 out of looks like 40,000 upon the ground. All these unsheathing the broadsword. And all the sons of Israel ascended up, and all the people, and came into Bethel and wept. It's like if you ask the Lord and you think you're getting an answer, well, you are getting an answer, and you do what he says, but it turns out really bad. Well, here's a good example of how you have to just keep seeking the Lord. And it wasn't easy here because they lost a lot of people. So they sat there before the Lord, and they fasted in that day until evening. And they offered a whole burnt offering for deliverance before the Lord, probably in the tent. And the sons of Israel asked by the Lord, and then here saying, should I proceed still to go forth for war against the sons of Benjamin, my brother, or slacken? So they're asking, now we have this parenthetical part right here, and it says, and the ark of the covenant of the Lord was there in those days. And Phinehas, the son of Eleazar, the son of Aaron, stood before it in those days. Now, this shows that, as far as I'm concerned, that this last story, and probably the one before, neither one of them had a time range. They were not called, there was nobody here called judge. The next judge to be called judge was Samuel, and he was educating, yeah. And but here these weren't. Now, if Phinehas is a grandson of Aaron, so this puts this timeline of this story at the very beginning of the book of Judges. It shouldn't be the last chapter, it should be the first one. It should be a continuation of Joshua, because Phinehas was mentioned in the last verse of the book of Joshua. And he was also the one that was there when the tribes on the eastern side of the Jordan wanted to build an altar, and the people of the 10 tribes were all worried about them leaving and so forth. And Phinehas was the one who came and decided between them on what to do. So this should be at the beginning of the book of Judges. So now it goes back down to ascend, and the Lord answered and said, ascend, and tomorrow I will deliver him into your hand. Wow. So they had to go through all this defeat until third time that the Lord decided that he would deliver Benjamin into their hand. And the sons of Israel placed an ambush in Gibeah round about. And that's very similar to what they did to the Ai, the city by Jericho, where the Israelites were defeated. But then they put an ambush and finally took Ai. The same thing is happening here. And the sons of Israel ascended against the sons of Benjamin on the third day. And they deployed against Gibeah as once before and once before that. And the sons of Benjamin came forth for meeting the people, and were drawn away from out of the city. And they began to strike from out of the people, and now we have a parenthetical state, they began to strike from out of the people in the ways which there is, one ascending to Bethel, and one ascending to Gibeah in the field, about 30 men of Israel. And it says there in the parentheses, slain as once before and once before that. So these 30 men. And the sons of Benjamin said, well, they stumbled before us as before. And the sons of Israel said, we should flee and pull them out from out of the city into the ways. And every man of Israel rose up from out of his place and deployed in Baal Thamar. So that was someplace by there, an ambush. And the ambush of Israel wrestled from out of its place from the descent of Gibeah. And they arrived right opposite Gibeah, 10,000 chosen men from out of all Israel. So now that we had, what's 38, 48, well, whatever, they can do all the figuring it out, but 10,000 men. And the battle weighed down, and they knew not that hurt has been affixed upon them, that is the people in Gibeah. And the Lord put Benjamin to flight before Israel. And the sons of Israel utterly destroyed among Benjamin in that day 25,100 men. Now, whether they were killed or wounded, and doesn't say. It says that they destroyed. All these unsheathing the broadsword, soldiers. And the sons of Benjamin beheld that they were put to flight. They're being defeated. And the man of Israel gave place to Benjamin, for they hoped upon the ambush which they arranged by Gibeah. So, and the sons of Benjamin beheld that they were put, and the ambush advanced. Well, now they were put to flight would be Israel. And the ambush advanced, and they poured out against Gibeah, and the ambush went, and they struck all the city by the mouth of the broadsword, just like Ai. And the arranged order was with the man of Israel, with the ambush, for them to offer a signal fire of smoke from the city, same as in Ai. And the man of Israel turned in the battle, and they saw that smoke, and Benjamin began to strike, slain against the man of Israel about 30 men. And for they said, surely being put to flight, he was put to flight before us, as the battle before. The 30 men were killed, and so the men of Gibeah, same thing's happening. They're being defeated. And the signal fire began to ascend from out of the city as a column of smoke. And Benjamin looked behind, and behold, there ascended the consummation of the city into the heaven. And the man of Israel turned, and the man of Benjamin hastened, and he beheld that a bad thing has touched him. And they leaned before the man of Israel in the way of the wilderness. So they fled and went sideways to the wilderness, and the battle fell upon them unawares. And the ones from the cities, they utterly destroyed them in their midst. And they cut up Benjamin, and pursued him according to his feet, where they ran, and trampled him opposite Gibeah towards the rising of the sun, which would be eastward. And 18,000 men fell from out of Benjamin, all these men of power. And they turned aside and fled into the wilderness to the rock of Rimmon, which I looked, and they had the rock of Rimmon is even up above over here somewhere. So they might have went all the way up. And they gleaned him in the ways, 5,000 men. And they cleaved after them unto Gadaam, wherever that is, and struck from out of them 2,000 men. And it came to pass, all the ones falling among Benjamin was 25,000 men, unsheathing the broadsword in that day. All these were men of power. And they turned aside and fled into the wilderness to the rock of Rimmon, 600 men. And they stayed at the rock of Rimmon 4 months, whatever was left of Benjamin. And the man of Israel turned against the sons of Benjamin, and struck them by the mouth of the broadsword, from the next city, or city to city, unto beast, and unto all being found in the cities. And the cities being found, they burned by fire. So Benjamin is now being destroyed by the other 11 tribes of Israel. Well, you think that would be the end of the story, but it continues there, because killing all these men caused a problem. In the last chapter of Judges, we will go through this story of what happens to the people of Benjamin. Hope you'll join us in the next video seminar. Until then, God bless.